My name's Breige McLean, and I am living in Omagh, County Tyrone. I am 50 years of age, and over the years I have had I have had an issue with certain mental health problems, which came to a head back in 2005 when eventually I got a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. Now, at that time, I was a health professional myself, and I knew a bit about what bipolar was. I certainly didn't think I had it. And my sister, who was with me in that psychiatric appointment that I went to at that time, said, "But sure, Breige, we all thought you had that, but I didn't." So basically, for the 17 years before that, I had been living with these very strong, cyclical, increasing episodes of depressive illnesses, which would come sometimes and last for 2 to 3 months at a time, and sometimes leave me to the point of really non-functioning. I would lose weight, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I became very reclusive, I couldn't really look after myself properly. My family and friends were always around at this time, but I kept them away. I kept away from them because didn't know what was happening to me, and I was mortified and very embarrassed by the whole thing, and very scared, very frightened. So I think stepping back and closing the door and pretending I wasn't there was just my only way out. And really this started when I first went to college, but I didn't know what it was, and really that went on for 17 years, and I didn't know what was happening. I put it down to jobs weren't agreeing with me, cities weren't agreeing with me, boyfriends weren't agreeing with me. It was always somebody else's problem, and then it became a bad back, that I had a sore back. So I was making excuses all the time, and I didn't really know, and I didn't know what was happening. So it was a very fortunate thing in a way when I got that psychiatric assessment from Dr. Foster, and who was very, very respectful to me and really treated me as the intelligent person that I am. He spoke to me in that way, not as somebody who was in the depths of nowhere, and who really, I would have said my life was just crawling along at a very slow pace, and if I could have crawled under a stone, I would have done that. So he gave me the diagnosis, and quite quickly I was put onto medication for bipolar disorder. And I also, at quite a later stage, I then joined a couple of groups. Al-Anon was one, Aware Defeat Depression was another, and in Letterkenny a friend and I would go to recovery, which was to do with mental health and recovery. And I really felt that at that stage I really needed peer support, and I needed people to help me not regress. And it was really up to me to take balance into my life. And the way I could balance it was to look at, well, what was causing my depressions, what were my triggers. And other peers who had depression helped me identify what they were. And now I know that things that were triggering for me, are things like a lack of sleep building up. That was a trigger. Taking on too much work. Maybe thinking I can do it, but that I can't be everything to anybody. So I was just taking on too much, not being able to do it. I was a perfectionist, so everything I did I had to do really, really well. And in recovery I've learned that it's okay to be average. It's okay to have a day that's maybe not so good, or to run a group that's maybe okay, average, but not perfect. I'm very happy to share this with people, and to let other people know about it, because it was very hard on my family and friends at the time, because they didn't know what to do, and they saw this person that they loved changing before their eyes, and so hard to reach, and it was very distressing for them. So I think particularly because at that time I didn't have the voice. I'm articulate now, but I could not articulate to them what was going on with me and why I was like this. So that's a very important thing, is the families and friends, or husbands and wives, that it's hard for them to understand. And if I can help with that, or if this recording helps in any way, that's grand.